Hi everyone, I'm Yogesh and welcome to Engineering Life. I'm an experienced DevOps and infrastructure professional, and over the last few months I've been spending quite a lot of time trying to see how AI genuinely fits into the infrastructure workflows and where we still need human judgment. One of the most beautiful things about AI currently is that it can generate Terraform codes pretty accurately and quickly. Just give AI a prompt and it will generate IAM policies, compute resources, or even entire Kubernetes clusters. But over the years of my experience writing Terraform code, I've realized that writing the code is not the most difficult part. The most difficult part is trying to understand the impact that one change can bring on that created infrastructure. Imagine a pull request or a merge request that a regular infrastructure engineer would have to face on his day-to-day activity. Let's say the change is very small. It could be only a 3-line change, maybe a minor policy change in IAM, or just a Kubernetes node type change in the cluster. The code change might look very small, and as usual with any code changes, you have a CI which would run the Terraform plan, and the plan looks very clean, and you run the plan through AI also, and AI says that it's all good. But an experienced engineer rarely stops at that. An experienced engineer is hard coded to look at a lot of things like, is the capacity enough in that particular project? Are we running at quota limits? How about that project being shared by other teams? These are all the questions that an experienced infrastructure engineer would uh, analyze. And these details are not in the Terraform code or in the state file. These are outside of that. And that is where I think currently the problem lies with AI. AI looks at the infrastructure purely as a code, whereas an engineer looks at the entire infrastructure as a whole system. Two identical systems running in different environments will actually behave differently to the same change. A small change in a development environment might only result in a small issue, but the same thing on a production might result in a huge downtime or a big revenue impact. And that is what an experienced engineer looks at. Again, I want to be extremely clear that I believe AI is very useful in infrastructure workflows. Like I said, it can generate the infrastructure code. It can summarize Terraform plans very well. It can also troubleshoot existing environments. And of course, it can help with documenting complex infrastructures well. So it can essentially onboard a junior engineer very quickly onto existing systems. But onboarding is not same as running the systems on production. And because of all these experiences, I believe that we have to treat AI like junior engineers. It's okay to have Terraform generate the code. It's okay to summarize. It's okay for them to summarize the changes, but we want a senior engineer who has a broad knowledge of the system to approve of those changes. Let me know what you think about my thoughts. Thank you for watching.